Introducing Radiant Hearts Network. Welcome to a sanctuary of inspiration and learning, where hearts are ignited, minds are opened, and dreams take flight. Radiant Hearts Network is more than just a channel. It's a community of kindred spirits, passionate about making a positive impact on the world around us. In our corner of the digital universe, we believe in the power of stories to uplift, educate, and transform. That's why we're here to invite you on a journey of discovery and wonder, where every video is a beacon of light in a sometimes chaotic world. But we can't do it alone. We need your support, your enthusiasm, and your love to keep the magic alive. So if you find joy in our content, if you feel inspired by our message, we encourage you to subscribe, turn on notifications, and share our videos with friends and family. Together we can spread the radiance far and wide. Now get ready to embark on an adventure like no other.
Welcome to the thrilling world of Threads of Faith. In the bustling streets of Lagos, young Ayo grapples with cultural expectations, religious confusion, and the pervasive grip of corruption. As threads of fear and doubt weave through his life, a chance encounter leads him to question everything. Can faith unravel the knots that bind him? Meet Ayo, a young man navigating the complexities of life in Lagos. He's caught in the indiscriminate adult reverence and religious crossroads, struggling to find his place in a society rife with corruption's web. As he faces a turning point, Ayo's ethics and integrity awaken, prompting a deep exploration of faith in God. As Ayo's journey unfolds, he grapples with the pervasive grip of corruption, leading to a powerful turning point. Will he succumb to the darkness around him, or will he find the strength to rise above it? Join us as we delve into the tangled beginnings of Ayo's story in Threads of Faith. Prepare to be captivated by the gripping narrative that explores the awakening of faith, the battle against corruption, and the enduring power of hope. Don't miss out on this compelling series. Welcome to the thrilling world of Threads of Faith.
Lagos was a city that never slept. Its pulse throbbed day and night. The air, thick with humidity and the smell of exhaust fumes, vibrated with energy. Hawkers called out their wares, their voices competing with the blare of car horns. Music spilled from brightly painted storefronts, a chaotic symphony of Afrobeat and Fuji. The streets, a tangled web of humanity and commerce, pulsed with a frenetic energy. Amidst this chaotic beauty, Ayo walked with a heart heavy with unspoken anxiety. He loved Lagos, its vibrant spirit, and its indomitable will, but also feared it, its unforgiving nature, and the ease with which dreams could crumble amidst its relentless churn. Ayo's father, worn down by years of toil, impressed upon him the importance of ambition.
You must be a man of substance, Ayo, he would say. Education is your only salvation.
Ayo excelled in his studies, soaking up knowledge. He secured admission to the University of Lagos, filling his family with pride. But the weight of their expectations pressed down on him. He was their beacon of hope, destined to break free from poverty. Their dreams clung to him like a lifeline. Navigating the university, Ayo felt displaced, caught between the village and the city. His affluent classmates moved with assuredness. Their conversations were alien to him. He felt like an imposter. He withdrew into his books, escaping turmoil. He excelled in his studies, his thirst for knowledge unquenchable. But the more he learned, the more he realized how much he didn't know. Ayo had been raised in a devout Christian home. Every Sunday, his family would attend the local church, their voices blending with the congregation in fervent prayer and joyous hymns. His faith had been his bedrock, his solace in times of doubt.
But in the bustling metropolis of Lagos, my faith was put to the test.
He was surrounded by a bewildering array of churches, each claiming to offer the true path to salvation. Pastors, with their slick suits and charismatic pronouncements, preached a gospel of prosperity. their sermons peppered with promises of miracles and financial breakthroughs.
Ayo, raised on the values of humility and hard work, found himself questioning the authenticity of their message.
He sought refuge in the familiar rituals of his childhood faith. He attended church services, his voice joining in the hymns, but the words felt hollow, devoid of the fervor that had once sustained him. He prayed, but his prayers felt like whispers lost in the cacophony of the city. Doubt gnawed at him, whispering insidious suggestions in the silence of his heart. He had always believed that life had a clear purpose, that good would always triumph over evil. But as he witnessed the rampant corruption that permeated every level of society, he began to question his beliefs. He saw politicians, their pockets lined with stolen wealth, flaunting their ill-gotten gains. He saw policemen sworn to uphold the law, extorting bribes from hapless citizens. One evening, as Ayo returned from the library, his mind absorbed in a particularly complex equation, he found himself surrounded by a group of young men.
They were older, their faces hardened by the streets, their eyes glinting with a mixture of amusement and menace.
One of them, tall and wiry, with a jagged scar bisecting his left eyebrow, stepped forward.
"Fine boy like you shouldn't be out here alone at this hour," he sneered, his voice laced with a hint of threat.
Ayo's heart pounded against his ribs. He instinctively clutched his bag, his only valuable possession, containing his books and a few naira notes.
"I'm not looking for any trouble," I stammered, my voice barely a whisper.
Who said anything about trouble? The tall one chuckled, his companions joining in the laughter, their eyes cold and predatory. "We just want to be friends."
Ayo knew better than to believe him. He had heard stories of students robbed, beaten, even killed in these very streets. He had always prided himself on his intelligence, his ability to navigate the complexities of academia. But in that moment, faced with the raw brutality of the streets, he felt utterly helpless.
Just when Ayo thought all hope was lost, a voice boomed from behind the group.
Is there a problem here?
The men turned, their expressions shifting from amusement to annoyance. Ayo followed their gaze and saw an old man standing a few feet away. He was dressed in a simple white robe and a faded blue cap, his eyes twinkling with a wisdom that seemed to transcend the surrounding chaos. He leaned heavily on a wooden staff, his presence radiating an aura of quiet authority. The tall one turned back to the old man, a sneer playing on his lips.
"Run along, old man. This doesn't concern you."
The old man didn't flinch. He looked at each of the young men, his gaze steady and unwavering.
This young man is under my protection. I suggest you leave him be.
The tall one hesitated, his gaze darting between the old man and his companions. The amusement had vanished from their eyes, replaced by a flicker of uncertainty. Ayo watched the exchange, his heart pounding, a glimmer of hope flickering amidst the fear. Without another word, the tall one gestured to his companions, and they melted back into the shadows. Ayo stood there for a moment, his legs trembling with relief, watching them go. He turned to thank the old man, but he was gone. He looked around, but there was no sign of him. It was as if he had vanished into thin air. Ayo hurried home, his mind replaying the encounter over and over. Who was that old man? And why had he intervened? He had never seen him before, yet there was something about his presence, his calm demeanor, that filled Ayo with a strange sense of peace. The next day, unable to shake off the memory of the encounter, Ayo returned to the spot where he had met the old man. He hoped to find him, to thank him, to ask him about his mysterious intervention. He waited for hours, but the old man was nowhere to be found. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the street, Ayo turned to leave, his heart heavy with disappointment. Just as he was about to give up hope, he noticed a small, nondescript building tucked away between a dilapidated kiosk and a rowdy bar. A faded sign above the entrance read, "Baba Aid's Wisdom Shop." A strange feeling washed over Ayo, a sense that this was no coincidence. He had never noticed the shop before, but something drew him towards it. He pushed open the creaky door and stepped inside. The interior of the shop was dimly lit, the air thick with the scent of incense and herbs. Shelves lined the walls, stacked high with books, scrolls, and strange artifacts. Behind a worn wooden counter sat the old man from the previous night. He looked up as Ayo entered, his eyes crinkling at the corners in recognition.
I was expecting you.
"You were? But how?"
Baba Aid smiled, a knowing smile that seemed to hold the weight of ancient secrets.
The universe has a way of bringing people together when they need it most.
Ayo spent hours in Baba Ade's shop that day, listening intently as the old man shared his wisdom. He spoke of the interconnectedness of all things, of the importance of finding one's purpose, and of the power of faith. He didn't preach any particular religion, but his words resonated deep within Ayo, awakening a longing he had long suppressed.
The path to enlightenment is not always easy. There will be challenges, temptations, moments when you will question everything you hold dear. But it is in these moments of doubt that your faith will be tested. And it is through these trials that you will find your true strength.
As Ayo walked out of Baba Ade's shop that evening, the city's cacophony seemed muted, replaced by a newfound sense of clarity. He realized that his journey of faith wasn't about blind acceptance or adherence to dogma. It was about seeking truth, wrestling with doubt, and finding his own path. The encounter with the street thugs had shaken him to his core. It had exposed his vulnerability, his fear, but it had also ignited a spark within him, a desire for something more than just survival. Baba Ade's words had resonated with this yearning, offering a glimmer of hope in the darkness. Ayo knew that his journey wouldn't be easy. The challenges he faced, poverty, societal expectations, and the ever-present allure of shortcuts, wouldn't magically disappear. But he was no longer the same scared young man who had arrived in Lagos. He carried within him the seeds of faith, planted by a kind stranger, nurtured by a city's relentless spirit. He walked towards the setting sun, its golden rays painting the Lagos skyline in hues of hope and resilience. He didn't have all the answers, but he was no longer afraid to ask the questions. His journey of faith had just begun.
Introducing Radiant Hearts Network. Welcome to a sanctuary of inspiration and learning, where hearts are ignited, minds are opened, and dreams take flight. Radiant Hearts Network is more than just a channel. It's a community of kindred spirits, passionate about making a positive impact on the world around us. In our corner of the digital universe, we believe in the power of stories to uplift, educate, and transform. That's why we're here to invite you on a journey of discovery and wonder, where every video is a beacon of light in a sometimes chaotic world. But we can't do it alone. We need your support, your enthusiasm, and your love to keep the magic alive. So if you find joy in our content, if you feel inspired by our message, we encourage you to subscribe, turn on notifications, and share our videos with friends and family. Together we can spread the radiance far and wide. Welcome to Radiant Hearts Network. Let's shine bright together.
Episode
2.
Welcome to the thrilling world of Threads of Faith.
Lagos, a city that pulsated with frenetic energy, a place where dreams chased the horizon yet stumbled over the uneven pavements of reality. Amidst the vibrant chaos, Ayo walked with a weariness that belied his youthful 22 years. His shoulders slumped under the weight of responsibility, his brow furrowed with worry. He loved his city with its infectious energy and defiant spirit, but Lagos could be a cruel mistress, her beauty often obscured by a veil of hardship. He had come to Lagos with hope, a fire in his belly and ambition in his heart. He soon learned that in Lagos, survival was a hustle, an intricate dance between hope and despair.
I feel nauseous, believe me.
Ayo was a son of the soil, raised on tales of hard work and integrity. His father, a weathered farmer, had instilled in him the value of honesty, of earning one's keep through sweat and toil. So Ayo hustled, his days a blur of odd jobs and menial tasks. He ran errands in the crowded markets, his nimble frame navigating the labyrinthine alleys with practiced ease. He helped at construction sites, hauling cement and mixing mortar under the scorching sun. His hands, once smooth and unblemished, were now rough and calloused, a testament to his relentless pursuit of a decent living. Each night he returned to his tiny room in a rundown building in one of the city's sprawling slums. As he drifted off to sleep each night, he clung to the belief that his honest labor would eventually pave the way to a brighter future. Every month, like clockwork, Ao sent money home. It was a ritual, a duty he couldn't escape, no matter how tight his own finances were. Each transfer was a testament to his love and responsibility, a silent promise to his family that he would always be there for them, a meager sum whittled down by his own expenses, yet a lifeline for his family. The money he sent was often all that stood between them and destitution. It was a delicate balance, one that left him constantly on edge, always calculating, always worrying. His mother, her health failing, needed medicine. The cost of her treatment was a constant drain on his resources, but he couldn't bear the thought of her suffering. Each month he prayed that the money would be enough to keep her comfortable, to buy her a little more time. His younger siblings needed school fees, a path to a future that didn't bear the weight of his own struggles. Education was their ticket out, their chance to break the cycle of poverty that had ensnared their family for generations. Ao knew that, without his support, their dreams would wither and die. He was their hope, their anchor to a life beyond the limitations of their village. Ao found himself trapped in a relentless cycle, his earnings barely enough to keep his head above water. No matter how hard he worked, it never seemed to be enough. The weight of his responsibilities was a constant burden, a heavy load that he carried alone. It was during one of these moments, when the weight of his responsibilities felt crushing, that he met Emeka. Emeka, a face from his past, a reminder of simpler times. Their paths had diverged long ago, but now fate had brought them together again. Emeka, a childhood friend who had long since succumbed to the city's underbelly, offered Ao a way out. He spoke of opportunities, of quick money, of a life free from the constant struggle. It was a tempting offer, a glimmer of hope in the darkness, a quick way to make money, to finally ease the burden on his shoulders. The lure of easy money was strong, a siren's call that promised relief from his endless worries, but it came with risks, dangers that Ao couldn't ignore. But Ao hesitated. This wasn't the path his father had envisioned for him. His father had always taught him the value of hard work, of earning an honest living. The thought of betraying those values, of taking the easy way out, filled him with guilt and doubt. He stood at a crossroads, torn between his responsibilities and the temptation of a quick escape. The offer hung in the air between them, a poisonous fruit dangling just within reach. Emeka, sensing Ao's hesitation, leaned in, his voice smooth and persuasive. "Think of your family, Ao," he urged. "This could be our ticket out of this struggle, a chance to finally live a little." Ao's mind raced. He pictured his mother's tired eyes, his siblings' eager faces, their hopes pinned on his success. Could he, in good conscience, expose them to the risks that came with Emeka's world? He thought of his father, his words echoing in his ears. "A good name is more valuable than gold, Ao. Never compromise your integrity for fleeting gains." But the gold that Emeka offered seemed anything but fleeting. It held the promise of a better life, a chance to silence the gnawing fear that whispered he would forever be trapped in this cycle of poverty. The city, once a beacon of hope, now felt like a cage, its steel bars forged from his own limited choices. He had come seeking a better life, only to find himself ensnared in a different kind of struggle. The weight of his family's expectations pressed down on him, a constant reminder of his responsibility. He yearned to ease their burden, to fulfill the promises he had made when he first left their village, his head full of dreams. But the reality of Lagos was a harsh mistress. The city demanded sacrifice, often at the cost of one's morals. He saw it all around him, the casual acceptance of corruption, the blurring lines between right and wrong, all in the name of survival. Ao refused to let Lagos break him. He clung to his integrity, his belief that there had to be another way. Lagos was a city of survivors. He saw it in the eyes of the market women, their voices strong and unwavering as they bargained for the best prices, their resilience forged in the fires of daily struggle. He saw it in the determination of the street vendors, their makeshift stalls, a testament to their resourcefulness, their entrepreneurial spirit undimmed by the challenges they faced. He heard it in the music that pulsed through the city, a vibrant soundtrack to their lives, a celebration of their spirit in the face of adversity. The rhythms of Afrobeat, of Fuji, of high life all spoke of a people who refused to be defined by their circumstances. Their music was a testament to their enduring hope, their belief in a brighter tomorrow. Ayo drew strength from their example, their unwavering spirit fueling his own. He realized that he wasn't alone in his struggles. Beneath the surface of the city's chaos lay a deep well of resilience. One evening, seeking refuge from the oppressive heat, Ayo wandered into a local church. The voices of the choir, raised in soaring harmonies, washed over him, offering a momentary respite from the city's clamor. He closed his eyes, allowing the music to soothe his troubled soul. As the last notes faded, he felt a hand on his shoulder. An elderly woman, her face etched with the wisdom of years, smiled at him. He had seen her before, selling groundnuts by the roadside near his building. They spoke for hours that night, her words a balm to his anxieties. She reminded him that even in a city as vast and impersonal as Lagos, there was still a sense of community, a network of support that could be found in the most unexpected places. The next morning, Ayo woke up with a newfound clarity. The encounter at the church had reignited a spark within him. He realized that while he couldn't control the circumstances that surrounded him, he could control his reactions to them. He could choose to succumb to despair, or he could choose to fight. He would not betray his values, nor would he allow himself to be defined by his struggles. He would find another way. He spent the next few weeks exploring every opportunity that came his way. He started small, mending clothes for his neighbors, his nimble fingers working with a speed and precision that belied his lack of formal training. As the sun began its descent, casting long shadows across the city, Ayo sat at his sewing machine, the rhythmic whirring a testament to his determination. He was tired, his back ached, but he couldn't remember the last time he had felt so content. The path ahead was still uncertain, fraught with its own set of challenges, but he had found his footing, a sense of purpose that transcended the allure of easy money. He was building something for himself, brick by brick, stitch by stitch, a future built on hard work, integrity, and the unwavering belief that even in the heart of struggle, hope could blossom. The city, once his adversary, now felt like a canvas, a vast expanse upon which he could paint his own narrative. He was a young man on a journey, his spirit unbroken, his dreams undimmed. He was Ayo, a son of Lagos, and his story was just beginning.
Introducing Radiant Hearts Network. Welcome to a sanctuary of inspiration and learning, where hearts are ignited, minds are opened, and dreams take flight. Radiant Hearts Network is more than just a channel. It's a community of kindred spirits, passionate about making a positive impact on the world around us. In our corner of the digital universe, we believe in the power of stories to uplift, educate, and transform. That's why we're here to invite you on a journey of discovery and wonder, where every video is a beacon of light in a sometimes chaotic world. But we can't do it alone. We need your support, your enthusiasm, and your love to keep the magic alive. So if you find joy in our content, if you feel inspired by our message, we encourage you to subscribe, turn on notifications, and share our videos with friends and family. Together we can spread the radiance far and wide.